Good evening. He's great. Good evening. Oh, hi. You're in the Playhouse. Welcome to the Playhouse. I'm Uncle Paul. And it's time for our very special hellos. Hello to Frank Stickermania and Mr. Stickermania and Sticker Granddaughter, Sticker Kid, Bruce Spicer, Patricia of A Little Beatles Corner, Mikey Arugula and Rachel's Ghost, Andrew of Parlogram, Beadly Tone, Matthew Street, Joe Mayo, known as Mean Mr. Mayo, Matthew Street, Andrew Dixon, Beetle Brad, Ken Michaels Radio, Brendan Snyder, Beetle Dave, Dave Sundstrom. And those are our very special hellos for today. You know, I think sentimentally, everyone's first record player really means a lot to them. And this one is incredibly special to me. Obviously, this is my first record player, and I brought some photos, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the record player here. All right. Well, this is a Steelman, very popular company that manufactured record players in the 50s and early 60s. And it's what they call a suitcase record player. And the lid comes down, just pop through there, and it's got a handle, and then you just carry it around to all your friends' homes. And of course, but the needle, it was like a copper needle. That's all that they had in those days. But it suited me just fine, and I loved it. So this is me in about 1964, and I just loved it. Predominantly, the record player, as you see, is on this couch behind me, myself. And then as I grew a little bit older, when I started playing and discovering the Beatles, this is the record player that I first heard the Beatles on. And that's why, again, it means such sentimentality. Now, today, we're going to just look at some oddities, I believe, in records. Right, so I just want to first show you, this was the hit of the week. This is Here Comes the Sun. Now, not that Here Comes the Sun. No, this is by the Vincent Lopez Orchestra. It's a foxtrot, and it was issued in 1930, and it was 15 cents. So this I always found. I love that when I find Beatle titles that were used later on, but of course, not what we know. Here's P.S. I Love You. No, not that P.S. I Love You. This is Larry Clinton and his orchestra with vocal by Ann Lloyd. And it's funny, too, that it's on Bell Record. And it does have the kind of bell. I just was wondering, and again, if anyone in the audience or if you stop by the Playhouse, and you can let me know. Because Bell Records was the company that was mainly known for issuing the Tony Orlando and Dawn records. And before that, the Partridge Family records were all on Bell. So I don't know if this tune, turned into later on and had staying power. So anyway, this was issued in 1953, and this was 35 cents at the time of sale. Right, so now we're going to talk about some odd but real Beatle cover versions. We know that the Beatles have been covered by more artists than anyone else. But I like to find the ones, maybe these won't be so unique to you, but to me they were. All right, so we're going to start with I Call Your Name, yes, the Beatles version, by the Shags. And this is on Laurie Records. And of course, Laurie was known for issuing the Jerry and the Pacemakers version of How Do You Do It, that the Beatles rejected. They didn't want to record it, even though it is, people do hear it. But yes, so I always love that label too. I love labels. Color. All right, now fine. All right, so here's Capitol Records, ready to cash in automatically, but who wouldn't? It's A Hard Day's Night by Jimmy Haskell and his orchestra. And it says from the motion picture, A Hard Day's Night, a United Artists release. Here's Michelle by Billy Vaughn. And that's on Dot Records. And this one I haven't listened to in a while, but I don't think I was that impressed. Now here's another label I love, Buddha Records here. This is Dear Prudence, which you would think it's an odd cover version to do. And it's by the Five Stair Steps and QB. I really felt that they probably could have left QB off of it, but I felt that probably the Five Staircases felt that they really needed them to help. All right, here's Birthday by the Underground Sunshine, and that's on Intrepid Records. Might be the only record that the label Intrepid ever issued, because I had never seen this label before. Here's And I Love Her by A.C. Caldwell on R Bad Letter M Records. Again, anyone let me know if they know any information in the comments. I would welcome them. Now moving, I have one solo record here by B.J. Arnault doing Live and Let Die. And I believe this was even issued. This is a promo, not for sale. At the time, yes, 1973. So he was competing with Paul McCartney's version, or again cashing in. This one, of course, is extremely popular. I thought about not even having it in the pile because it's a cover version all of its own. The Joe Cocker, of course, with a little help from my friends on A&M Records. And of course, then it got even a rebirth as the theme song to the classic, wonderful series, The Wonder Years. Now these... There was a company, these are low-budget records, okay? And we're going to go through these faster. Song Hits was a music sheet company, and they would issue these unbreakable records of just their generic singers doing Beatles songs. I Want to Hold Your Hand is here, She Loves You. But the one I really like, because this was never issued, and it's the recording that seemed to have been used at the time. You get the full recording of We Love You Beatles on this, and as they're singing it in the beginning of Around the Beatles, it almost sounds identical if you know the beginning of that special that the Beatles did. So these are more song hit records, and here's I Feel Fine, and let's see, well, that's it. Okay. So thanks for stopping by at the Playhouse, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks, Joe Friday.